Hey, Dad. Yeah, I must have just missed you, but yeah, I had this idea I wanted to run by you. Uh, Basically, have you seen those vans on the highway that are the taller, newer kind of delivery van style thing? I've seen some of these photos of people who've converted them into these like cool camper setups, like full on, basically just like the Westie that you used to take us climbing in and stuff, but like a full on camper conversion style thing. Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe buying a van and living in it, and then just converting it into a nice kind of camper thing. Use it to shoot videos out of and stuff. I don't know, just an idea. Would love to chat more about it anyhow. Hope you and Mom are doing well. Talk soon. Love ya. Bye.
Well, we're in Spencer's van here, and we just watched some of the aerial footage for the first time. And what are your thoughts, Spencer?
Really great stuff, Levi. He's the man.
The van life's been treating me well. I slept on the floor of Spencer's pad last night. This van is pretty killer, so definitely gonna get in on the van life as soon as possible. Is that your van right there?
Yes.
Can you give us a tour of your van?
Tour of my van?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on. Woohoo! He's giving us a tour of his van. Yeah. Dang. So good.
Yeah, man.
In 2015, I'd started filming a documentary about some slackliners that I had met. And these were the first people that I had met in real life who actually lived in vans. The short story is I've been on the hunt for a van, and particularly a van that I can convert into a mobile production studio. I probably looked at 4 or 5 vans already in person and many more online. Here's to hoping that this one might be the one. So I bought the van and I started using it right away for my traveling and video editing machine. So for now, I'm just using the space as best as I can with what I have. And then once I save a little bit of money for the project, like in the fall, that's when I plan to maybe do a bit more of a proper build in here. There we go. It just got real. Here now in the Walmart parking lot, and it's actually exciting because I'm about to cook my first meal with the Sprinter. We're gonna make a bagel. I'm gonna toast my bagel because I'm gonna use the stove. So the first people I actually showed the van to were 2 of my buddies from the production company I was working with in Vancouver.
He drinks chocolate milk and he eats Tostitos.
This looks like his section of our office. It's just as messy.
I can stand up in here.
I can easily stand up in here.
Of course you can.
Whoa! I could live on one of these shelves.
Where
I got dibs on this shelf right here.
And then the next people I showed the van to was my parents.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's huge.
It's really cool.
What do you think, Mom?
I love it.
Do you actually?
Yes. Can I take it camping?
So I'm here at my parents' house, and my dad has helped me remove all the stuff that I had loaded into the van. I just had so much stuff in there. And now I'm going to remove the shelving that came with it and try build something to temporarily use in the mobile adventure van. So we'll see how this goes. And lastly, but probably most importantly, I got to show the van to my girlfriend who was visiting from school. Janelle,
Yes.
what do you think of the van?
No, I like it. I do, but I really like the inside. So this weekend, Levi put in all these shelves. It's good storage in here.
Did you help?
Yes, I did. I hung these hooks. Bedroom.
Yes.
Oh, wow. That's pretty nifty.
That was a very satisfactory reaction. It's version 1, essentially. It's version 1, and I plan to redo it in the fall when I put in insulation and get a little more high-tech with stuff. But version 1, you know, pretty rough, but it works. And looking back on those first weeks and months living and working out of the van, it was honestly more isolating than I'd been expecting. At this point in my life, this was the most solitary way of living that I'd ever experienced so far. And at first I was a little kind of surprised by what that felt like, but I really started to welcome it, because this was the first time in my entire life where I could just decide to go explore and then just go do it.
Honey and bread, one of the best meals I know.
I started to realize just how much basic things I had just taken for granted before, because I never really had to worry about it. Like, where am I gonna sleep tonight? Where am I gonna go to the bathroom? When am I gonna need to get new ice for my cooler? Am I gonna get to shower this week? Or is anybody gonna knock in my van when I'm trying to sleep in it? And these were obstacles that I'd never really faced before. And on a daily basis, it kept me uncomfortable enough to need to constantly actually remind myself of why I was living in a van in the first place. And for me, I was living in the van because I wanted to make my first film. And so I was working out of the city, and I was doing everything that I could to actually make this happen.
Just finished today, official posters for the premiere here in Vancouver. So fired up. We are 2 days away from the premiere.
Levi Allen follows some of the world's best slackliners. Kristen Robinson has more on how he made his film, mostly living out of a van, and why he's decided to release the film to the public for free.
I was told that you're such a creative guy that you live in a van just to keep your creative juices going. Is that true? You live out of your van?
This is true. Yeah, I wanted to make a film in Vancouver, and as we know, it's a little bit challenging to make that life out of the city as a first-time filmmaker. So I made the choice this summer that I had to keep things going here in Vancouver so I could go to these adventure locations and film. So.
What are we doing?
We're filming our save the date video.
Oh, no. This was a deeper question than that.
What are we doing? We're getting married!
Do you remember when I asked if we could take the van on our honeymoon?
At that point, it was kind of a crazy idea because I hadn't really spent much time in the van. But I was up for it if we had two things. I needed a new seat, and it had
right, because it had this like flippy little delivery seat. I forgot
that.
that.
Little horribly uncomfortable.
Because the van was a delivery van, so it just had this like tiny
awful.
little.
It was awful. And the other thing is that it just had to be a little cozier inside, a little more homey, because it was this like empty metal shell with some shelves.
Right. Because at this point, I was like 3 or 4 test conversions in, where I'd like try different layout things with plywood to just see what the proper build was one day gonna be.
And we hadn't got there yet.
I had always thought for sure I'd get it done well before our wedding, and then suddenly we're like 2 weeks away from our wedding. Kind of became a challenge of what could I do with like $300 and some pallets in a couple days. I definitely remember how good it felt to just finish simple things like the floor. Like to just have a floor in the van was a really big win.
Okay, so the last week has been nuts. We've been planning like crazy for the wedding. All the details are happening and it's just like crazy. So I've gotten about 2 full days of work in on the van and I'm really happy with what I got done for 2 days of work. Essentially it's just gonna be the conversion that gets us through the summer. And I've prepped it in here. She has not seen this yet. And I'm about to let her see inside.
You what? You did all this. This is fun. Oh, it looks so good. Oh.
Does it feel just like a little bit homey?
Yeah.
I was like, that was my goal. I was like,
I feel like we just came into our first home.
I wanna be your companion. I wanna be your companion, yeah. Why don't we chase down the weekend?
Yeah, the honeymoon was great. It was the first time we just hopped in a van and made it up as we went. We got to stay longer in some places that we loved, park the van another night. Other places we just drive through, get to the next destination.
I wanna be your companion. I wanna be your companion. Full of love and understanding. I wanna be your companion, yeah. Why don't we chase what's between us until we know that we...
And then even just on from our honeymoon, like the first 3 years of our marriage, the van was kind of our main way to, I mean, you were working full time, I was trying to build a business, and the van was like, our times in the van would be where we kind of just pause what we're doing and just go explore and have fun.
Yeah, it was like our main way to relax and get away from like the daily grind of life. And it was so accessible.
Yeah, just like having it in the driveway was a reminder when things were getting a little stressful or something. It was like, hey, we need a van trip. Let's go.
Sometimes, yeah, after dinner we just hop in the van and go spend the night somewhere else, just because it would like refresh us for the week.
I'm more of the spontaneous one. You're more the planned, but
together we're a great team.
Together we're a great team.
we never really spent more than a couple weeks at a time ever in the van at a given point, but it felt like we were able to actually cover like some pretty good ground, even just in those small little windows that we could carve out of just daily life. And some of my favorite trips are like the times where we'd go through the Rockies and there'd be these big epic mountains, and some of the camp spots up there were just pretty ridiculous.
Honestly, what I loved the most was just getting out, finding the best camping spot, pulling out my hammock and my book, and just relaxing.
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Get away from the noise. Just you and me.
Nice campfire going on. And
yeah, it was just like time slows down.
yeah. Preferably no cell service.
Yeah, that's actually a big
For
win.
my sake.
We found some really good spots with no cell service and the best views, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, over the past 4 years, not only were we spending so much time together in the van, but Levi was basically building his business out of the thing. He would throw some food in a cooler, grab a sleeping bag, head out in the van with all of his film gear for a couple weeks at a time, and come back with these amazing films. Like, it blew my mind.
Well, I would have to edit all of them first, but yeah. I will say, on all those trips where it was mainly just me going out and filming, I did often think it would be a lot better if you were with me.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
I kind of always had this idea that at some point soon, we're gonna pack up in the van and go for a bit of a longer trip and maybe see some more places. And I don't even care if we film much, but like I want to just go travel without an end date for a while and just go do that.
Yeah, we just haven't been in that season yet.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
And we need a van to be ready to actually enable that, because as much as we've been able to get by with Florence for the last 4 years, you start to realize that some things would be really nice to actually have. So van build 2.0. We've got a long list of things that we'd love to incorporate into like a mega conversion of our Sprinter van.
Yeah, but you've been saying forever that the conversion's coming.
Truthfully, I always did mean that it was coming. Like, it always felt like it was just about ready to start on the official 2.0 build.
So what now? Is it actually coming?
Yeah, it is. The van build's coming.
Well, it better be, because we tore everything out.
Yeah, we tore everything out of the van.